So I pray that you are our first resort, God, and our last resort. I pray that we go to you before we go to anybody else for help. Everywhere, everything we look at, God, we see that there's pain, we see people hurting, Lord. We see people making last attempts, Lord, to escape the cruelty of the world, Lord. But we pray that you'll help us to be able to disciple people and to be able to tell people.
Good morning. Forgot the mic.
This time we'll just not do anything.
It looks like it's on.
Is it? It's just not showing up online.
Well, if you would, open your Bibles to Philippians chapter 4. We looked at who is the most important person to you. And so Paul was writing to the Philippians, and he's telling them, do nothing out of selfish ambition, but in humility consider others as more important than yourselves. And so he's saying that consider others as more important than you for unity in the church. And we do that through adopting the mind of Christ, because he had you so that he could have a relationship with you, so that he could have a relationship with you. He came as a servant more than anything else. It wasn't this thing where he came and he wanted to be God of all these people and rule all the people on the earth in that moment as an earthly. Last week, we looked in chapter 3, and we asked the question of where does our validation come from? Is it in the things of this world? Is it in success? Is it in the things that we have, whether it's cars or position or a certain person or friends or a community, whatever it is validation in any of these things, or we get our validation from Christ? And so lastly, as we look at this chapter 4, the big kind of question that we're looking at is, what are our desires? What are our desires? What is in our heart, and what is in our mind? What is in our heart, and what is in our mind? And so kind of the first thought I want to bring to your attention today is, have you ever heard the phrase, out of sight, out of mind? To be here between 45 and 50 weeks a year. They were going to be here pretty much every week. They were going to take off for vacation or maybe sick, something like that. But now studies have shown that even the most committed church members will only attend maybe 2 to 3 times a month. That the trend is that even the most committed church members, their attendance is going down. And it's impacting the way you live. It's out of sight, out of mind. If you're not in your scripture daily, what is fueling your mind? What is fueling your desires? When you think about your desire for what to go to McDonald's after this, because I see one on the way home all the time. I'm not really going to McDonald's, but you get what I'm saying. Our desires are fueled. Have you ever seen commercials and you're just like, man, I don't know commercials so much, and you start seeing Jeeps everywhere. When you go out, your desires are being fueled by what you're seeing. Your desires by being in the Word, by prayer, by fasting, by meditation, by listening to worship music. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars being spent in front of you that you're going to go there. That they can get their brain in front of you more than the other person, that you will go there. Of your daily interaction. His imprisonment. That he's going to be out of sight, out of mind. You're going to forget what he's done on the cross for you. You're going to forget that he has a hope for you. It's going to be out of sight, out of mind. You're going to focus on what your current circumstance is. It's going to consume you. Instead of turning to God, giving it over. So this morning, as we read that, I want you to just remember that as a follower of Christ. I want to continually put God before me. That He would be the one that fuels my desires. That He would be the one that I think about. In God in everything that I do. So let's read Philippians. I'll say it again, rejoice. Let your graciousness be known to everyone. The Lord is near. Don't worry about anything, but in everything, through prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, so connected. So connected. What we fuel into our minds, what we see, fuels our heart and our desires. And here Paul saying, rejoice. And he say, don't worry about anything. Don't worry. Because of my imprisonment, others are becoming more bold in their faith. God is at. Let's continue processing through capital. My mom comes by, cha-cha. You know, in the summertime and the heat's out. It's not put their trend. He comes and he gets it taking him to do it. Well, I can get frustrated by that. And so there's all these people in the neighborhood, and I get frustrated within me. Point of view, thinking about how it affects my life. But if I would just meditate for just a minute, whatever's lovely, whatever's commendable, if there's anything moral excellence, praiseworthy, dwell on these things. You know what's true? It's not that big of a deal. The morals save me so much heartache, so much time wasted on anger and frustration. If I would just do what Paul's saying here. I wish I had a job that did this. I wish I had this intent being by God. Why don't you spend that time praying? You're already driving. He's going to be this business that's tucked off in a neighborhood that you never drive by, you never think about. He's going to think about it. So when things come in your life, when you have an opportunity to share the gospel, you're not going to see it. When you have the opportunity to pray for somebody, you're not going to see it. When you're going through a tough time, God's not going to be there giving you peace. Jesus be the center of our life. A great worship song says, Jesus is the center of our life. Fuel us so that we can find the God who did everything for us. That can also be translated appoint or to set apart to an office or special service. Ordination has a rich history of what we might call a lay leadership. Being set aside for service in the New Testament, Jesus appointed first the 12 disciples to carry out the ministry. Jesus made clear that he was conveying authority upon his followers. When the disciples, apostles, the beginning of deacons, as we know them in Acts chapter 6, verse 1 through 5. In those days, as the disciples were increasing in number, there arose a complaint by the Hellenistic Jews against the Hebraic Jews, that their widows were being overlooked in the Parmenius and Nicholas, a convert from Antioch. Deacons are to meet the needs of the church. Why is the formal ordained moment indeed people? This laying on of hands by other ordained men of God is a benchmark and a moment in a life. Ordination is significant in the life of a congregation. The people are reminded that there are examples of servant leaders among them. Let's look at 1 Timothy chapter 3. Not hypocritical, not drinking a lot of wine, not greedy for money, holding the mystery of the faith with a clear conscience. They must also be tested. If they prove blameless, then they can serve as deacons. Wives, too, husbands of one wife, managing their children and their own households completely. You, church, would you pray for them?